one of our dance troupe members was very forward thinking and was probably very much like Lilly Singh in this movie. And I just remember just being like, all the time, like,
Yeah, like,
can't
shocked,
even
yeah.
believe you said those words. Like, like, but we grew up in our little Edison bubble.
We
So,
did.
of course,
We
we would
did.
feel that
And
way.
that's how
Yeah.
you probably still feel because you see
Yeah.
this trailer and you're like,
Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Love S&D. I am Dipti, your host. I am joined by the elder sisters, Sheena and Nina. And
Hi.
we
Hi.
we are talking about Nina being um a mom, an old Indian mom. Right, Nina?
This was just really like
Eh?
trying to ruffle my feathers over
I
here.
know. Today's the day.
Okay. So we were just talking about how Nina gets uncomfortable when private behavior becomes like mainstream topics.
And I don't think she gets uncomfortable. I think she gets very science-based versus like,
No, she literally just said it makes her so uncomfortable. She watched
Okay. So
she watched
let's
a
yeah,
trailer.
yeah. Okay, let's backtrack a little because,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, go,
So
Nina.
I said to the girls, I said, well, how about Lily Singh's new movie,
Mhm.
which we all love Lily Singh, but the content of this new movie, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna let my girls watch this. And
Yeah.
I got there real quick. And she was like, it didn't make me uncomfortable.
Me
And I'm
neither.
like, yeah, but were you like thinking about it from the perspective of your kids watching it?
100% not because it's a rated R movie. So I,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
even think
probably like
about that.
rated
But
R,
I
R, R.
sometimes think about like your girls watching it and then yeah, maybe they're way too young to watch it, but the content of it, like being comfortable with talking to your kids about all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't
We can't
envy
even
the
say it.
position.
Literally.
I don't envy the
It's the
position you're
birds and
in.
the bees. We're talking about the birds and the
The
bees.
birds and the bees. There we go.
Even though birds and bees are not actually compatible. So I don't know why it's even called that.
See, she
So
always goes back to
stupid.
like the science of it instead of like the philosophy.
But think about birds and bees. Like literally.
It's just a
There's no
saying.
I know, but it's so
Oh,
dumb.
But let's see where
okay.
it came from because now I'm curious. But go on. What
So I think
where did we come up with this topic?
the reason is because Nina's like, it really makes me uncomfortable. And I'm like, well, I don't think it makes me uncomfortable. And Dipti then asked us, hey, have you guys had the discussions about the birds and the bees with the boys and the girls? And I was like, yes, absolutely, very openly. And Nina was like, yes, absolutely, very openly. And I'm like, but the movie's making you uncomfortable, the trailer. So how does that work? And she's like, her response was, I've had a conversation about how the women's bodies are.
Yeah,
Carry
so
on,
what
Nina.
was the conversation, Neen?
So my conversation was more like a woman's body is all on the inside. So you have to protect it like a shell, like your outer body is your shell, right? And
Mhm.
your kind of your guard. And so I was like, the opposite gender, their parts are on the outside. So it's like a little different, right? And so it was like, well, the first time is like sacred because everything's on the inside and like girls have more to risk than boys have to risk. So it was more of those like when you come to that point when you're ready to have your first kiss or go to bases or whatever it is that's going to be happening. Did you see my blood pressure? Oh God,
I
guys.
think
I
I think
can't. I
Lily
can't even
Singh's
get
movie
there.
is more of knowing your own body and knowing what to do, not not the consequences of what you're going to do,
Right.
but
Yeah.
like
Like,
how it's
okay.
done and like what gives pleasure and what like things like that. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
but then it was like, did you see the part when the whole like it's a mixer and then the mom's making this? I was like, oh my God, I can't. Like, of
I
course, Lily
think
Singh thought of this movie because this is like her persona coming out like 110%,
yeah.
which is like kudos to her, but
I think it's also
I gotta
going
get
to
there.
address things that you probably won't ever feel comfortable addressing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I know you're saying that I would never let my girls watch this movie, but like I said, they're either going to watch this movie with or without you, might as well be with you, or they're going to talk about it with their friends.
Yeah.
And it's probably better that they watch it with you and you are able to then say, hey, yeah, that's interesting concept, or that's an interesting way to tell this specific feeling, whatever it is.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
you can address it with them in a more mature way than like them talking to them friends about it and getting it mixed up with something really stupid or funny. Like it's all
Yeah.
of it is happening, but it's all very serious too. It's not funny and like stupid and like, it's all just very real. And I don't know. I think it'll be a good thing. But again, I have sons. Like, so for me, I'm just like, and I also don't agree that it's different. Like it's girls have more to lose than boys. I think like everybody should act responsibly.
Oh, 100%.
But for me, like I think I'm also a lot more open than you. But I don't know I don't know for me with girls how it would be in my mind. I just feel like they should all know everything and they should be well informed from us instead of their like stupid friends or from the internet or whatever it may
Your
be,
stupid
friends.
friends.
like they talk
I
about
think
it on the bus ride. Like do you think that we're really not like supposed to talk about like they should know from us, like
yeah.
responsible adults who then they feel comfortable asking us questions
Well,
or
that's why
telling
I
us
approach it
things.
from the medical side because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's very black and white. Like,
But that's
here are your body organs. Like,
that is not the premise of this movie.
I
No,
know,
not
I
at all.
know, I know. But like, I do think about like in college, I remember like I was in a dance troupe, right? And we had a friend, like one of our dance troupe members was very forward thinking and was probably very much like Lilly Singh in this movie. And I just remember just being like, all the time, like,
Yeah, like
can't
shocked.
even
Yeah.
believe you said those words. Like, like, but we grew up in our little Edison bubble.
We
So of
did.
course we
We
would
did.
feel that
And
way.
that's how
Yeah.
you probably still feel because you see
Yeah.
this trailer and you're like,
Yeah.
But we never talked about it growing up. None
None
of
of it.
it.
that is
Not
None of
with
that
it.
is her
mom,
point.
not with
And
dad.
I
Yeah.
know.
similar to
That's what
you,
I mean.
Nina, I had a friend who was like very shocking and like she would make
Mhm.
dirty jokes and like honestly, I think I learned a lot about sex and bodies and things like from her because she
Yeah.
was like so open and willing to like say the words out loud. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, are you going to be able to teach your child about like their own bodies and like pleasure and all that kind of stuff? No, you're not. No, you're not.
Let
I
Lily
know.
do it. Just let Lily do it, okay, at this point.
Lily, do your job. I mean, granted, she's only 14. So, like, this is a rated R movie. That's like 17 or 18 or 19. I don't even know how old you have to be.
She's going to be
But we're
30
not
before
there.
she learns anything about.
And look at her sweating. Oh my God, you're so funny.
I think it's going to be
Literally
sooner
sweating,
than you
guys.
hope because we talk about this all the time about how kids
Yeah.
are just much older
Yeah.
than we were at their age, right? Like much
Yeah.
more mature.
Yeah.
They're exposed to so much more. So like their friends are going to talk about this. I like just get ready for it. I don't
Yeah.
know if like I don't even feel comfortable coming to you two with a question
Yeah.
about something
Yeah.
like this. We've
Yeah.
never talked about this amongst even
Yeah.
just the three of us. So then for
Yeah.
your child to come to you, it's not going to happen.
She's going to be like,
Yeah.
Mommy, Lily Singh said.
Well, that's
Look
why
at
it's so important for us to normalize it with them and just make it like
Yeah.
not a thing, like talk to
Yeah.
me. Like what do you need? For me, like we've had this conversation about a million times and I think I've told every single one of my friends, like I get asked all the time, like, have you had the conversation about the birds and the bees with the
Yeah.
boys? And I'm like, yeah, actually I did it years ago, like when they were, I think 14, 15, something, or maybe even
They're
before
15
that.
now.
Oh, you're right. So maybe even like 13. I think it was around 13.
I
Sign
think
was
it was
12
around
and
12, actually. Yeah.
Sign
I
was
think it
12
was,
and the twins were 13.
yeah.
And the only reason I even did it was because I remember getting an email from school that their health
Yeah.
curriculum was updating and they're going to be talking about these things. And I saw it on there and I'm like, shoot, they're going to be talking about it at school. Like we've never even talked about it at home.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let's just rip the Band-Aid and get this conversation over with.
She goes, Sammy,
I
handle
no.
it.
And then I go, Sammy, he runs to his office. He's like, I got work to do. I'm like, okay. I was like, I'm going to do it myself at this point. I sit them down at the dining table and I'm like, boys, we need to have a chat. All three of them. I was like, let's just get it over with. And so I literally from A to Z, I go through everything. I was like, like what the act is, what happens, like all even a little bit of the science behind it. I don't know that much of the science, but like, how babies are made and like all the things like abstinence, consent, all those things we went through, rape, like all those things. And I remember all of them just taking their like placemats and they're rolling it in and rolling it out, rolling it in, couldn't even make eye contact with me. And they were like, oh my God, Mom, this is so uncomfortable. I'm like, I know it's uncomfortable, but we have to talk about it. Like, I just want you guys to know. And I'm like, at the end of it, I'm like, are there any questions that you guys have for me? Like anything happening with your bodies or anything? They're like, no.
No, bye. We gotta go. We have
I'm like,
basketball practice.
do you want to talk? But the funniest part of it all, Sammy doesn't come out of his office. He's listening from his office. He's like, is she kidding me right now? Then he has to take the twins to soccer. They're young now, okay? They're going to soccer and they're like, Dad, Mom had the most uncomfortable conversation with us. It was so weird, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, he kind of supported me. He was like, yeah, you guys need to know all this stuff. And they were like, Mom said that, because I'm also very black and white like Nina. I'm like, if you guys have sex, you're going to have a baby. Like, that's just what's going to happen. Like,
Oh my
that's what's going to
God.
happen. I'm like, if you do drugs, you're going to die. That's it. There's no gray area.
I'm not that
Like,
kind of
what?
black and white.
Yeah. But that was like 3 years ago when they were
Yeah,
so
yeah.
little. I was like, this can't even cross your mind. It was like, if you want to try to have sex, you're gonna have a baby, and then are you gonna take care of a baby? Like, what's gonna happen? Now they're a little more wise to my like black and white, but at that time it was so black and white. I'm like, there's no gray area. Like, you're not gonna fall in love, and if it's the right person, you're going to move forward. No, I was like, sex, baby, drugs, dead.
Jesus.
So then they go to Sammy in the car. They were like, did you and Mommy only have sex one time? And he's like, what? And they were like, well, Nana made us, so you didn't have to have sex to have us. So only once for Cyan. And Sammy's like, yep. I was like, oh my God.
That's so cute.
It was the cutest thing. They were young. Now they
And
obviously,
that's very literal.
yeah,
Like,
that's
literally.
literal, yeah. But like now they're way more wise to like all of it, because honestly, some of the stuff wasn't new to them when I was telling them
Yeah.
all these years ago, So now I knew that they already know a lot more than I think they know, and they talk about it with their friends, and like, just talk about it with me and Dad. Don't
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
it with your
Yeah,
friends.
but
Like,
okay,
please
hold
don't.
on. Again, I think we're falling off the topic of what we're actually talking about, which is not like, are you teaching your kids that it actually is okay and it will be like it if they want to? Hold on, what's my question? Are you teaching your kids?
Even you're getting uncomfortable.
No, I'm not getting
joking.
uncomfortable. I'm just like, I'm trying to not say the words out loud. My kids are running around the house.
Why?
So are you trying to teach? No, just kidding.
So are you trying to teach your kids that like it's okay to explore your body? It's okay to like find pleasure in things that aren't necessarily going to lead to babies. Like, is
I'm
that
not.
part of the
No,
conversation?
I hope
not
Sammy
right
is.
now. They're too young.
Yeah.
They're too young.
I'm not. I don't think mine are too young, but I'm not, because I just feel like I don't understand their bodies enough to have these conversations. I really do think that, like, for boys, Sammy would be the right person to have that conversation with them. But also, I don't think that they need to be told that. Like, I think it just organically and
that's
naturally
I think,
happens.
don't you think that that's kind of where I think this is the reason why Lilly Singh made this movie, is that our generation
Lily,
just,
like, she's our
I know,
friend.
BFF.
Lily, you want to be our friend? We're just as crazy.
The reason why she made the movie is because like our generation, which I think she falls into, is that like our generation didn't really talk about these things and they didn't normalize
Mm-hmm.
these things, and it's not the end act. It's everything before that and everything
Yeah.
that surrounds that. We just did not talk about it. And we didn't
Yeah.
teach our like we weren't taught it. We weren't and when we were taught it, it was in this like raunchy, joking, like not actual serious way. Like nobody actually told us how to have pleasure with our bodies by ourselves, right? Like that wasn't a thing. Nobody told us about that. And so that's what
I don't know that.
I think that's where she's going with this movie.
I don't think that those things are taught necessarily. I think that you explore and figure it out. But I think a movie like this, she's not teaching. She's also just jokingly kind of making people aware, just
I
like your
think
friend did, or like Nina's friend did,
exactly.
or,
She's being that friend.
she's being that friend.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's being that friend, but she's not necessarily teaching anybody or at this next
She's
generation
just
that.
exposing the topics.
Exactly.
And then it's going to be all on us to discuss it because we let
Yeah.
our children
So
watch
good
it.
luck
No, but
with
and
that,
that's a
with
good thing.
Nina.
That's a good thing, though. It just it
Sending them to
opens.
Sheena.
No, I think it's a great thing. I think it opens the conversation that we're never going to open on our own, to be fair. Like, we're
Yeah.
never going to be like,
Well,
let's
okay,
talk
fine.
about
So
all
what's the
these
right
things.
age? I don't even know if I'm the right age to watch this movie. So what's the right age?
I mean, it's rated R for a reason, right? So, like, I
Yeah.
would think that 16 probably is the right age
I
to
think
watch.
I think just
16.
like
Let's watch it first and
why
then
don't
figure it out.
you think about yourself and your own experience with boyfriends and your body and whatever? Like when do you think that started? And that's probably when you should start talking to Naya
Yeah.
about
But
it.
and then everything now starts way earlier.
Like
So
5
really
years
just
earlier.
go a little bit earlier than that. So pretty
basically
much.
when she was
So basically
12, you should have had this
yesterday. Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. You had this conversation yesterday at this point.
I
I
Oh
think
my
think
God.
it's
it's
side tangent. Yeah.
I think
We
it's
are.
just so funny how uncomfortable you are being in the field, but then like not being able to talk about.
It's girls dip. It's so
Yeah, and
different.
you
I
don't you
I would
don't
know.
be. I
even
think
want
I
to
would
think
be
that they're
uncomfortable
there.
too.
You don't even want to like. So it's interesting.
No.
So one of our very very good friends, um, she was saying how she took her son to his pediatrician well visit,
Hmm.
routine checkup, and he just turned 14. And the doctor actually brought up a whole conversation about porn and
Hmm.
was like, that's not natural. That's not what is expected of the boy or the girl. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
he had this whole conversation. And I'm like, I wouldn't even have thought about like that wouldn't even have been one of the topics that we cover,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's not a scientific medical experience that like we need to, go to the books for. So
Oh my God, that's like a
very
whole
interesting.
other layer.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
like when they hear
The
things or
media
see
portrayal.
things. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like,
Well,
That
that's
was
why
our
so many of these.
downfall with Bollywood. That was
Yeah.
literally our
100%.
downfall
'Cause
with Bollywood.
literally watching Sayara, of course, we have to go back to that. I was like, they didn't need that whole makeout scene. Like, they didn't need to add that.
Okay, I'm gonna agree
Go
only
back to the
because
wholesome.
I disagree.
only because
You got.
I wholeheartedly agree because and I felt the same way about Rocky Irani, but also because we've grown up with Bollywood being a family experience. So then like
Yeah.
if you're gonna make a movie that Zuri can watch, then these scenes they weren't even necessary. They didn't
They
move the
weren't.
story forward, right? Like in Rocky Irani, it's part of a song and they just start making out. It's like why? Why did
Yeah.
you need to put that
Yeah.
in there? Like
In
And
that
most of
way,
these
yeah.
couples are very awkward doing it on screen too.
100%. I mean,
So, like, can you
in
just
Sayara,
not
I
like?
wouldn't say like they were pretty natural. I just again
Mm.
because to me Bollywood is such a family experience, and I want the kids to grow up with Bollywood more because like there's so much about our culture and there's so much about like just everything, right? Like Bollywood encompasses so much of our lives.
Yeah.
I just don't see the need for all of that. And honestly, I'd probably let the kids watch the movie if it wasn't for all of that. Like the whole bedroom scene. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Why? We get it.
Yeah.
You guys love each other. In Bollywood, we expect that naturally. In conversation, they're in love. We accept that fact, right?
Maybe this is Lilly Singh's whole point.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, that's why I
Maybe.
Like, why are
wasn't
we like, no,
against
now
it.
this is no longer a family movie?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think it was excessive either. Like, I think, like, compared to Hollywood movies, it was very
Yeah.
Hush,
well
hush.
played. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I think that they need to Bollywood is even trying to normalize this for people, right? Like
Yeah.
you
That
don't
this is
need to
what
be like
love
you
looks
can't
like.
watch
Yeah.
it. They weren't doing anything insane. Like they weren't like naked and doing the thing. Like, there was just like
Yeah.
very minimalistic. They were kissing, which is normal. Like they watch these Descendants things. People aren't kissing.
I
No,
don't know.
they're not, are they?
I don't think so. I think, yes, they do kiss
Love
at the end,
there
actually.
is love
Yeah,
stories.
like
Yeah,
it's nor
yeah.
I used to be like, guys, close your eyes, but now I'm like, you know what? Like whatever. Like as if they're like, Mom, we've seen this 1,000 times, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're also like 16 at this point. I should just stop. I'm talking.
I will say we were watching Divergent. Excellent
Hmm.
movie, by the way.
Hmm.
And there was a scene where they kiss and all the girls got so uncomfortable. And I was like, oh man, I created the beast.
I
And that sounds
know.
like, I'm like scrambling around. I don't know what's happening. And it was like a peck. I was like, what?
All my kids are like that when they see a kissing scene. All of them. They just like
Why?
Oh
all like
no.
lose all sense of functionality.
It's so funny. Even the big girls need my boys are not at all like that.
No, don't be like this to Nessa and like cover her whole face. Like, okay.
I mean, she's only 9.
I know.
You guys,
That's
we are the problem.
we are.
No, we are the problem. And that's why I'm not
Hi.
offended by Lily's
It's
movie.
me.
Literally,
I'm the
that's why I'm
problem.
not. I'm
It's
like, you know
me.
what? Maybe this is what we need. This is what our
Yeah.
generation needs to kind of
Yeah.
For our
open the
children.
conversations because none of us can do it clearly.
Yeah.
We're just like, so we don't understand the gray area enough to teach our children and make them comfortable with it. So we're just going to let Lily do the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Thank
part
you,
of it is
Lily.
also that we aren't comfortable. It's not that we don't know. It's that we're not comfortable
Yeah,
actually saying these things out
because
loud.
we didn't grow up like that. We grew up just like this. Like we're like, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Like, figure it out
Yeah.
on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff, right? Like it wasn't just like this. There was also like mental health and all that. Like we didn't actually talk about these things out loud when we were growing up. It wasn't
Drugs.
it was more of like and in our household, it was a lot of like, this is how you act as a woman. This is how you host other people. This is how you cook a like
Social etiquette.
yeah,
Social etiquette.
but like cook like all outward stuff, right? Like how you appear to society.
And I think that's our whole country is like that.
I
Yeah.
think
All,
100%. I was actually
all
listening.
of the eastern side of the world is like that.
Yeah. But I was
Yeah.
listening to another podcast, Michelle Obama's, by the way, which is so good. Um, because we share a lot of cultural similarities. But Barack Obama was on it the other day, and he was talking about just how boys grow up to, or boys used to grow up to have this same thing. Like you're really conditioned to how you look to society, right? Like I'm saying, like you shouldn't shout or you shouldn't cry or you shouldn't disagree, and you should always like, have this camaraderie with your friend, like your guy friends and things like that. But that's how
Mhm.
we grew up too, right? We grew up to be agreeable and quiet and be able to like function in a home or amongst a lot of people. There was never any like, how are you feeling on the inside? That conversation didn't exist.
Wait, Sheena didn't get the quiet memo though. It's
I
true.
was in my own world. I was living my own world. You know what? Though you guys are also like bigger rule followers than I am when it came to mom. We've had this discussion 1,000 times.
Yeah.
You guys don't have. I mean, you just not fear. I wouldn't say fear. I just feel like you just were a lot. You were too scared to disappoint her, or not even scared. Like you just didn't want to disappoint her.
Yeah.
So you were like, we're gonna do as we're told. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm gonna live in my own world and it's gonna be fine. I
I'm gonna get
did
married
do a
at
lot of the
22 and
things.
leave.
No, I did that for her. No, I'm joking.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying.
actually for you, but
Yeah.
different story. But I wasn't as like scared to kind of sway from the rules, and you
Yeah.
guys were just like straight like do as we're told.
Yeah.
I also think it's like a first child thing,
Yeah.
like your own mind kind of thing, and then you two just kind of got the brunt of it.
Yeah.
Like forget her, she's not listening. We'll focus on these two.
Hmm.
But
And I'm
also,
more dad's personality too, right? Like
yeah,
I'm more of like I'm more stubborn. I'm more like what I want is what I want kind of thing. Like and I'm just like more
say it how it
outspoken.
is.
You guys are just like people pleasers more
Yeah.
than I am.
Yeah.
But so to circle back to what we were talking about, which is,
That's what you get for trying to
transparency with our kids. A really good book got recommended to Neil and me by somebody we had met on one of our recent trips, and it's called Hold On to Your Kids.
Oh
Mhm.
God.
And the whole premise of the book is really interesting. It's all about attachment. And so when kids are born, they're attached to their parent or attached to the caregiver that they find that security and sense of comfort with.
Hmm.
And so when we see that kids are, you know, they're getting harder to manage or they're being influenced by their friends, it's because that sense of attachment with their parent
Mhm.
or their caregiver has kind of been, like, compromised, and
Okay.
so they seek that sense of validation and comfort and, belonging and, guidance from that next group, and so whereas the book talks about whereas before there were layers, right? It was generational layers so that it was within the community, right? You found another adult that would guide you, or you found a grandparent that would guide you. Now our kids' generation are finding peers, and
Yeah.
peers are not meant, evolutionarily to guide you. They're in
Yeah.
the same funk you're in. They don't know nothing,
Mm.
you know?
Yeah.
So it's that's where the whole us telling our children from us rather than them finding it from an inexperienced peer
Yeah.
becomes really, like, relevant, and I just thought it was really interesting. So I'm only 1/3 way in. I haven't
Mm.
gotten to the part of how you secure that attachment, but it says it should be, like, solid until they're able to navigate this world themselves, which
Yeah.
happens after adolescence.
But I
Mm.
hope that it also addresses lessons learned that were wrong, that
What do
don't
you mean?
that don't continue to be correct
What is all
as
that
time goes
noise?
on.
I hear too it's like
It's
walking.
so much noise. Yeah, that's it. That's her. It's like a zoo in there. You can hear
It's like
everything.
right?
All the pitter patter, all
I
the
know.
talking in the
It's
kitchen,
summertime, man. What can we
everything.
do?
Tell them be
Um,
quiet.
but
¿Dónde
yeah,
está?
I hope that there's
Okay, buddies.
there's a portion of that that's also unlearn all the wrong stuff, right? Like unlearn that you don't talk about certain things and unlearn that, you know, think
I don't know it's about the learning and not learning.
but like the things that you're passing
Explaining it.
on, right?
It's about no, it's not about what you're passing on. It's this sense of security so that your kids will come to you first versus go to their friends first.
But what if
It's
they
not
don't think that you can relate to what they're going through anymore? Like
but that's
if
the
we
whole
all
point.
grew up not talking about certain things and now they feel like now they can't talk to you either because you don't seem open to that conversation, then naturally they're going to have to go to their peers.
Well, I don't have we talked about that whole safe parent thing yet? So, like, when we used to live in our old town, all the grown-ups were, I'd say, 5 years older than us, so their kids were 5 years older than
Yeah.
us.
Mhm.
So as they got older, as we all got older, the kids related more to me as, like, an older sister versus a parent,
Mhm.
but in that community, what they had created was a safe parent. So the safe parent was when you were too scared to go to your mom and dad with something that happened or something you had a question about or something that, you did that you were like, "I don't know where to go from here," you were allowed to call this safe parent that would then help you navigate the situation without telling your parents, unless you were at harm of at
Mm.
risk of harming yourself or someone
Yeah.
else, the same as that's the medical, rule too. If you're at risk of harming yourself or another, then you have to tell the actual parent. But otherwise, it was like this confidential parent that you could go to seek advice of what do I do now? I'm lost. So instead of going to your friends, you had these safe parents that were trusted by your parents to guide you in the right way,
Yeah.
but would not tell your parents just because you came to them for advice. And
Yeah.
I thought that was actually
Are
remarkable.
we
Yeah.
not each other's kids' safe
We
parent?
are, but I think that our
Yeah.
kids would not trust each other to not tell each other. Do you know what I mean? Like,
And also they probably think that if I tell Nina Masi or Dipti Kaki, they're gonna tell mom. Like
exactly,
they're going to
Mm.
tell mom.
exactly,
They don't trust each of us to not tell each other.
right.
For
I don't
sure.
trust each of us to not tell
Yeah.
each other. So
Like,
That is also
exactly.
that's
Like if
true.
fair.
anybody told me anything, I would immediately be like, "Mm, guess what Naya said?" Like,
It's always Naya.
It's
always
always not. She's the only one that talks in this house.
yeah.
Oh
Oh.
God.
Yeah, no,
But
I
yeah,
think that's a great
I
idea.
think it's a phenomenal idea.
Yeah,
And
no,
especially
definitely.
because we have created these like small pockets of family
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
right? That are like near dear. We all hold the same values. We all share the same sort of ideologies and like
Yeah.
set of beliefs that like this is the way we want to raise our kids with these
Yeah.
ideals. And so, okay, yeah, you can call this masi or this auntie or this uncle if you run into a situation where you're just lost, but
Yeah.
you're too scared to come to me and dad because you think we'll like rip your head off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which we
Yeah.
might start there and then come
Yeah.
down to our senses, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think
I love
it's
that.
there's so much value in that.
No, I do
Yeah.
So
love
like,
that.
you know, it takes a village. That whole saying, it takes a village. We have created these villages. So like
Yeah.
maybe we should give access to our kids to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I, uh, I don't even know how
Lily,
to.
Lily,
Oh yeah.
Lily. Help us out. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so
Um,
I'm desperate. Oh
Can't
God,
get
I
there.
can't.
I can't get there.
I'm
Okay, sorry.
desperately
Go.
hope there are others out there who can relate to us, who have not listened to this episode and been like, these old aunties are out.
Yeah.
don't group
I
me in your
can no
auntie game.
longer, no longer agree with anything they say. Because again, we all live on the opposite ends of every spectrum, the three of us. It's just like somehow there's only two ends, but we're all on the opposite ends of them. So
Yeah.
let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. Did you guys also grow up in a household where things weren't talked about, and how are you tackling that today? Um is it medical like Nina, or are you actually talking about all the things that go on in life as these kids are getting older? I literally like look at me. I am like beating around
Rambling.
the
You don't
bush.
have you don't have the words.
But let us know. As always, you can catch us on Instagram where we are.
Wait, what about Lily's shout out?
Yeah.
Oh,
Go
What the
back to
heck?
the movie. Yeah.
a shout out to Lilly Singh for being that friend. Honestly,
Uh-huh.
we all grew up with that friend, and now she is that friend for probably every South Asian girl who grew up in the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
And we love her for it.
Yeah.
As always, we are chatting it up with you guys on Instagram. You can find the episodes on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And until next time, thanks for listening. With love, SND.